Welcome back to the Boys and Bolos podcast. I'm down here in the Rat Tail Bunker studio, not the barbershop today, because we are remote. Jarrett, how do you feel about that?
We're virtual. We out here.
Virtual by the grace of technology, Zoom, the internet.
By
Elon Musk.
Not our sponsors, never our sponsors, hashtag Comcast.
Never, no. But I mean, we really don't have a choice in that matter. So,
No, we're thrust into that.
So, yeah, it's I think we'll call this pre-week one.
This is pre-week one.
Season 3 of the Boys and Bolos podcast.
I can't believe it's season 3. That's dark.
We out here for over a year doing this damn thing.
Yeah, because we started during the pandemic, and then we started with the restarts. We only had 9 or 10 games to get done. We did that summer.
That's season 1.
That's season 1. Last year we did a full season, and now we're getting ready for another full season. And so we don't want to waste too much time. We're not going to talk about many of the trades, gossip, because to be honest, there hasn't been that many trades. We just want to focus on 2 things today, and they are, I'll tell them the first thing, Jeff, and then you can tell them the second. The number one thing is if you want to be a guest on our podcast, we are creating the schedule right now for the first 19 games out from basically August to December, and we have a list right now, and we are scheduling people. So if you want to be a guest and you're listening to this on Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever it is, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook. If you know us personally, you can DM us, or you can even email us at boysandbolos@gmail.com and say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I want to be a guest. We're trying to fill out the first 19 games or half of the season, basically right up into the new year after Boxing Day. So email us, DM us. You can tweet at us at Boys and Bolos on Twitter. We're in all the socials, and we want to hear from you. And Jeff, do you want to tell them the other thing that they should consider doing probably sooner than later?
I will add one thing before I talk about the fantasy. If you want to be a guest, that would be great. You don't have to do it via Zoom. You could even, if you're local, you can come hang out at my house in the basement, in the studio. We're all vaccinated. It's perfectly safe. We can even sit outside. I got a nice little deck thing going on. We can make it happen. I think the barbershop is ready for in-person guests. You concur, Jarrett?
Yeah, I concur. And our first week, before the first week, we're going to do a proper preseason, which will be the next podcast. We're going to do a proper preseason preview, and we will have 2 guests. We've invited 2 guests who've never been on the pod before to come in, and they'll be in the barbershop with us. So you're totally right. As long as you are vaccinated, because Boys and Bolos, we do believe in science. As long as you're vaccinated, you are more than welcome to come. I guess you can come into Jeff's house, but we'll really be in the basement. And I guess the basement's part of your house, right?
Most would say this. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The realtors sold that. Okay.
I mean, we do laundry down here. I mean, all the utility stuff is down here. So it's an integral part of this house.
It is really the heart of the house, if you will. The barbershop is where everything comes from.
Well, it's got a radon system, so it's very safe. Dehumidifier. It's
the radon system.
It's got a whole mess of stuff down here that keeps this place humming, and it's got its own entrance. So if you really are a little unsure, then you can come through the barbershop entrance, and that is
that's right.
Yeah, it's got its own stair.
Ring the bell.
You got to ring the bell for barber. But yeah, so back to what I was saying before, we do have fantasy season 2. So we did a full season. We had how many teams did we have, Jerry, last year?
We had 16 or 18. I definitely want to break 20 this year.
Yeah, 20 would be the goal. I hope all the people who did fantasy last year will rejoin unless you was really not your thing, and that's fine. Apparently, some people just decided not to do it, but that's okay. We would be more than happy for anybody to join up. So we're going to put all that information on our link tree, probably on the Instagram, and then I'll probably Twitter as well. And we'll mention it in the next podcast. So we have a solid 10 days until your week 1 picks are due, and it's a typical fantasy football, not pigskin football, talking soccer football format where you select a lineup for the week, and you have some bench players, some utility players. You select a captain and a vice captain, and go from there. Score as many points as you can. So, Oz won it last year, right, Jerry?
Oz won it last year, and really, it's not Boys and Bolos fantasy. It's someone, for the love of God, beat Oz Atik because he beat the crap out of all of us. And this year, I'm adding a personal financial gauntlet to this. Not only if you win will you have your pick at swagofftheboysandbolos.com website, I will give the winner $50 on Venmo.
Ooh.
I want to get some spice in this. $50, I don't even know if it will matter in a year because of inflation, but that's neither here nor there. I will Venmo you $50 if you win the fantasy. And you'll also get to choose swag.
Don't you dare ask for that $50 in any type of crypto. Jarrett will never let it go. Never.
It's tough for me to let go of my crits.
He can't let go. He won't let go until it's been at least a year he's held on to this. Because you got to get those long.
If you're into crypto, unless I send it in a stable coin, in which case I don't have to deal with the IRS. But neither here nor there. You will get 50 doll hairs or the equivalent to 50 doll hairs. That is what I'm throwing down.
The question is, what piece of swag did Oz pick?
He picked, and this was very, very classic of Oz, unless I'm wrong. If you go on the website, boysandbolos.com, you will see that we have multiple mugs. We have a mug with our newest logo, which is our newest logo. If you're looking at this in the podcast, you can look down and see it. And we have the old school logo, which actually had like the bust and the actual bolo, the Western tie on like the fake mannequin. He wanted that one. He wanted the classic mug. So he's definitely OG Boys and Bolos. He preferred the older logo.
We do have one of those mugs in the barbershop right now. So I will say that I do like that little piece of nostalgia. It came from an original design, mock-up of how we wanted the Boys and Bolos aesthetic to look, and we've evolved a little bit, but it is classic.
It's retro. It's like an old jersey. It's like a 1990s jersey.
It's true. Well, that is I think, who does the Premier League fantasy? Is it just done through like the Premier League? Is it like an app?
It's done. Yeah, it's done through just the fantasy. You're right, the Premier League fantasy app, which I'm sure if you participated last year, hopefully you downloaded that. If you haven't, download the app. It's the easiest way to do it. We were also looking at the ESPNs, but that's a pick'em situation, and that's where, like, before every week you'll have to answer 10 questions. Now, while I like that format more, and I think it's a lot more dynamic, because it's like, in the Aston Villa-Liverpool game, how many shots on goal will there be over, under 20 shots or something like that? This is just an example. And while I like that, you really have to stay up on it, and I know personally I don't think you either will be able to stay, so we're just going to go with the Premier League fantasy. You basically pick 15 players, you have 100 million, and you create lineups. And like I said, it's not really Boys and Bolos fantasy. It's someone beat Oz Atik for the love of all that is sacred. And if you win, you'll get a piece of swag, and you'll get $50 Venmo to you, or Cash Apped, or stablecoined if you're into crypto.
Jarrett, I heard a rumor from the rumor tree that there was bucket hats being added to the Boys and Bolos swag store.
Yeah. Jack Harlow loves our podcast somehow, some way, and so we're going to have to create bucket hats because he needs his drip to be fresh. So we're working on that. The elves in the drop shipping boysandbolos.com are in the back.
We're really trying to find that classic bucket hat that really just fits all the needs, all of our desires, and for me, I struggle with bucket hats because of the size of my head. Most of them don't fit. But I do appreciate the aesthetic of the bucket hat and the shade it provides your neck during the summertime.
LL Cool J had a bucket hat and a gold rope. We have bucket hats and bolos. So
yeah, I mean, there's another thing that I did want to mention is that if you do win the fantasy, if you are interested in a custom bolo, that's will be available.
Diego won the Euros fantasy, and 2 other people won, but they never reached out, so sorry that happens. Diego won the fantasy, though. He was one of the 3 people to tie, and he wants a custom bolo with his team, Man City. So that can also, I know, it's not for everybody. That is also an option if you would like to take that route, because we made a custom bolo. Check out our YouTube if you want to see how we did that. It's kind of fun. We took an old Chelsea keychain, and we bought some stuff.
It wasn't
an
old
Etsy or whatever.
Hey. This is a new Chelsea keychain. We didn't just find one lying around. We took a new one and we modified it for our own bolo needs, which involved a grinder, some cutting tools, epoxy,
JB Weld,
my bench vise, hopes and dreams.
It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Actually, our YouTube isn't bumping as we'd like it to be, but that video has like the most views. And when I say the most, like 15.
Well, you know what? We just have to. It's that quick content we got to put out, almost like shorts, but not quite. Even shorts would be,
but not even.
Our TikTok though, blowing up. We get a lot of love. We get a lot of love in the TikTok.
Yeah, our TikTok has the same amount of love as like, I don't know, a younger, hotter body. But we just put up videos of like Roy Keane saying that Arsenal are shit. So
we do have our own like accounts so that we kind of like poke the bear, I guess.
If you find our troll accounts on TikTok, enjoy them.
Yeah, there you got some classic pictures of our favorite players.
Exactly. All right, that's it. We don't want to bore you with any more of our TikTokeries. Go to the link tree or find our link, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Click it, create your fantasy team. If you win, you get one piece of swag off our website plus $50. And the other thing is DM us, or you can email us, and you'll hear the email in the outro once again if you want to be a guest.
That's it. I mean, I don't have much to add. There's things happening in the Premier League. There's things happening.
Okay,
in
we're not talking
football.
about. We're not talking about.
And I'm just getting really excited about the next Spurs season.
Oh my God. Okay, that's it. Goodbye, people.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the Boys and Bolos podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Twitch at Boys and Bolos.
If you'd like to be a guest, please reach out. You can hit us on any of the social media accounts that Jeff just mentioned, or email us directly at boysandbolos@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.